Hello, friends. I'm Pam, and it's Tuesday, April 21st, and welcome to the reading of the Mansfield News Journal. We begin today's reading with the area deaths. Don L. Kaiser, age 83, passed away Sunday at Avita Health Systems in Galion. Per Don's request, there will be no calling hours. A private memorial graveside service will be held at a later date. Barkdale Funeral Home and Crematory is honored to assist the family with the arrangements. Louise Eileen Labine, 89, of Mount Vernon, passed away April 19th. Flowers Snyder Funeral Home in Mount Vernon. Posey G. Lester, 91, passed away at home surrounded by his family on April 18 after battling an illness for 2 years. Private services will be held. The Diamond Street home of Wapner Funeral Directors is honored to have served the family. Bonnie Mae Long, age 92, passed away April 18 at Mansfield Place. Snyder Funeral Home is honored to serve Bonnie's family with cremation services. A memorial will be held in her church at a future date. Janet Eileen Page, 80, of Mansfield, passed away on April 17. Snyder Funeral Services is handling arrangements. Leota May Greenewalt Rader, 78, passed away Saturday in her home. Due to the restrictions of the COVID-19, we will be following the guidelines set by Governor DeWine's office. Private family services will be held Wednesday in the Skillman, McDonald, and Vernon Funeral Home, Mechanicsburg. Burial will follow at Maple Grove Cemetery in Mechanicsburg. A procession will form prior to the graveside service for those wishing to show support. You may join the procession to the cemetery. However, due to the guidelines set forth by the governor, you must remain in your cars. Lineup will begin at 3 p.m. at the funeral home. Janet May Moore Rawl, 79, of Mansfield, passed away April 18 at Lexington Court Nursing Home. Private services will be held at Hurley Chambers Funeral Home with a burial at Mansfield Cemetery. That concludes the Tuesday Mansfield News Journal area death notices. Now for our first article. Coronavirus in Ohio. 64 cases in Richland County, 12 more since Friday. By Monroe Trombley, Mansfield News Journal. Since Friday, 12 more cases of the coronavirus have been added to the county's total, Richland Public Health reported Monday. That brings Richland County's total to 64 cumulative cases and 1 death. Of those cases, 19 people have recovered from COVID-19, the illness caused by the coronavirus, and there have been 18 cumulative hospitalizations. The latest on school closures. Ohio schools out for the rest of the academic year. Prison cases spike. The number of cases in Ohio jumped sharply this weekend when Marion County overtook Franklin and Cuyahoga as the county with the highest number of cases. That increase can largely be attributed to Marion Correctional Institute, where at least 78%, or 1,950 inmates, along with 154 staff members, have tested positive for COVID-19. One guard, John Donson of Mansfield, has died in addition to 1 prisoner. 34 prisoners have been hospitalized, according to the Marion Star, a sister paper to the News Journal. Including both confirmed and probable, Ohio has 12,909 cases and 509 deaths as of Monday afternoon. Still, the total number of cases is most certainly higher as Ohio has prioritized testing for frontline medical workers and the sickest, according to Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. So far, 90,839 tests have been administered in Ohio. Our next article is titled, Parks Master Plan Recommends Over $29 Million in Improvements, by Monroe Trombley, Mansfield News Journal. The newly released master plan for city parks recommends over $29 million in improvements that could include a pool at Liberty Park, a skate park at Prospect Park, and a Ninja Warrior course at North Lake Park. Officials say the draft of the long-anticipated plan, prepared by EMH&T, will provide a template on how to improve over 30 parks totaling 325 acres. It is intended that this master plan will be a flexible document presenting findings that are evaluated, validated, and/or modified periodically as the city responds to unforeseen opportunities and constraints, it says. Periodic updates of the master plan are anticipated at approximately 5-year intervals. At first scheduled to be completed by the end of last year, the plan's release comes at a tenuous time as the city deals with the coronavirus pandemic. When asked for comment, Mayor Tim Thaker, recently elected to a third term, said, "We are trying to get through COVID-19 and the effects before we can analyze anything. It would be premature to comment on the plan and how we are going to move forward without getting a greater grasp on the impact of our income tax, pride, safety, general, and any federal or state assistance." Lynn Stewart, Finance Director, predicted April 9 that Mansfield stands to lose at least 20% in revenue, largely made up of income taxes, which help to fund the Parks Department. Revenue concerns. Mansfield Finance Director projects 20% loss due to coronavirus. More than 855,000 Ohioans have filed for unemployment in the last 4 weeks. Through April 11, the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services has distributed more than $227 million in unemployment compensation payments to more than 271,000 claimants. Stewart, not ruling out the possibility that the city's rainy day fund may have to be tapped or cuts made, is expected to brief Mansfield City Council on Tuesday about the city's financial outlook. A finance committee has been scheduled for 6:35 p.m. with caucus and council to follow. It will be live streamed on the city's Facebook page. Public comments can be sent to City Council at ci.mansfield.oh.us. Please provide a name and address so that it can be forwarded to the correct council member, and be sure to clarify in the email that you would like the comment read at the council meeting. Nearly $2,250,000 is recommended for Sterkel Park in the draft of the master plan. Nearly $2,250,000. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself. Nearly $2,250,000 is recommended for Sterkel Park in the draft of the master plan. The Parks Department, which was closed until 2014 while the city was under fiscal emergency, is funded solely by the Parks, Recreation, Illumination, Demolition, and Emergency Services, also known as PRIDE, taxes. A 0.25% income tax that was first passed in 2013 and renewed 4 years later. 22% of the levy goes to the Parks Department, which was slated to receive $816,000 from tax this year, according to the master plan. All operations and capital improvement projects in parks are funded by the city's general fund. Heeding the city's recommendation, the plan recommends 11 parks be transferred to the Richland County Land Bank. The Land Bank, should council approve the move, agreed in December to take possession of Linden Pool, in addition to 8 parks: Bettstone, Dewey, and Vine Field, Hamilton, Harvard, Julia Underhill, Linden Circle, Newman, and Sherman Estates. Most of the parks in question are between 1 and 3 acres. The largest is Hamilton Park, which is more than 20 acres. Pending council's approval, Richland County Land Bank to take ownership of 9 city parks. In developing the master plan, EMH&T incorporated comments from a public meeting, responses from an online survey, and input from Parks Department staff. Over 330 households completed the survey, and 47 people attended the public meeting. Among the survey findings, a majority of respondents were over 50, have lived in the Mansfield area for at least 21 years or more, and have no children at home. A majority disagreed that the physical condition and maintenance of the park facilities is adequate, and expressed a strong desire to see nice, affordable pools in more than just one neighborhood. Since Linden Pool closed in 2016, Liberty Pool has been the only option for Mansfield residents in search of outdoor swimming, as Ford Hill and Unity Pools also closed several years prior. The plan identifies several sites where a new aquatic facility could be built, including Liberty Park for $8 million, Hamilton Park, and the former school sites on 4th Street and Klein Avenue. At the public meeting, there was a general agreement among attendees that providing a concrete bowl skate park would be a beneficial amenity to the community, according to the master plan. Mansfield City Council decided against moving forward with a skate park at Maple Lake Park until the master plan was complete. Mansfield City Council last summer discussed a 3,000 square foot in Maple Lake Park and approved $25,000 for its design, but decided against moving forward with the project until the master plan was completed. Council instead opted to replace the playground at Maple Lake Park for $55,000. The plan recommends a skate park be built at Prospect Park for $150,000. Attached to the master plan is a preliminary budget outlining over $29 million in recommended improvements, which is not based on completed engineering documents and should not be considered as a complete estimate of construction costs. The budget costs proposed in the report represent master planning level assumptions of costs of similar types of projects and may be used for budgetary planning and project prioritization purposes, EMH&T wrote. Actual project costs will vary from the costs presented due to many factors, such as final design and engineering decisions, inflation, unforeseen market conditions, and unforeseen site conditions. EMH&T said project costs could be reduced by using city staff on some portions of construction instead of contractors, reducing the scope of the project, or utilizing direct purchase contracts. Individual parks recommendations. First point, Brushwood Park undeveloped, 21.65 acres, $470,625. Verify future easements and access points. Next point, Burton Park, 3 acres, $681,162. Make improvements to parking and dedicated lots for specific uses in the lower area, improve parking efficiency for the pavilion in the upper area, provide new playground equipment, plant a wildflower meadow, resurface the basketball court, and consider conversion to 2 half courts, make improvements to the tennis courts, add pickleball courts, add picnic shelter to accommodate pickleball, and upgraded playground. Next point, Central Park, 2 acres. Plan recommends a separate master plan. Cyclops Field, 16 acres, $1,051,266. Make parking lot improvements, dedicate a single point of entry/exit, add safe turning lanes southbound and northbound to Main Street, Ohio 13, provide a circular multi-use trail system, upgrade all playground equipment, provide batting cages, add an additional picnic shelter, upgrade the press box, relocate Hamilton Park light fixtures, make upgrades to all fields, limit all vehicular traffic to city maintenance vehicles only within internal field areas, verify ownership discrepancies, improve drainage, consider corporate partnership such as Warren Rupp Company, maintain clear access to the Ashland Railway Yard. Next point, Deer Park, 5 acres, $422,961. Relocate shelter and provide family restrooms. Improve the trailhead connection to the Richland B&O Trail and the County Land Conservatory property. Create a picnic area, make parking lot improvements. Next point, Dixon Park, 5 acres, $155,870. Mowing reduction along the wooded area, consolidate play equipment, upgrade playground equipment and provide appropriate fall protection, provide an ADA accessible route from the sidewalk, provide opportunities for butterflies to pollinate gardens, or a pollinator garden. Next item, Fox Glen Park, 35 acres, $381,516. provide parking lot improvements along Straub Road, enhance on-site neighborhood connections with paved trail, provide secondary, multi-purpose nature trail improvements, provide a trail map to help walkers and hikers navigate designated trails, increase maintenance efforts regarding downed trees, branches that block trails, and repair trail erosion, provide park signage. Next point, John Todd Park, 22 acres, $791,740. Provide opportunity for a pollinator garden to support local butterfly habitat. Encourage interpretive and educational opportunities around old growth trees. Improve shelter to include restrooms. Consolidate play equipment. Upgrade playground equipment and provide appropriate fall protection. Develop the lower area as a nature preserve supporting current habitats and Botany Blitz programs. Maintain current maintenance schedule for existing baseball field and basketball court. Allow baseball field to also be used for multi-use sports. Next point, Johns Park, 5 acres, $861,880. Renovate and potentially expand pavilion. Use the pavilion as a winter farmers market alternative. Other pavilion uses to consider could be child care, elderly programs, after-school programs, homework assistance, etc. Create a safe parking lot. Improve basketball courts and restrooms. Add a picnic shelter near the basketball. Reserve parking around pavilion for ADA spaces only. Provide year-round rentals at the pavilion. Consolidate play equipment. Upgrade playground equipment and provide all appropriate fall protection. Provide better connectivity to the neighborhood with safety crosswalks. Replace sidewalks where needed. Next point, King Street Park, 3 acres, $716,818. Provide better connectivity to the neighborhood with safety crosswalks. Consolidate play equipment. Upgrade playground equipment and provide appropriate fall protection. Reconstruct the picnic shelter and provide restrooms. Maintain on-street parking. Add multi-use path. Provide multiple basketball courts. Provide a multi-purpose field. Remove or improve internal sidewalks. Next point, Liberty Park, 25 acres, $14,759,987. Develop the northern third of the park as an outdoor aquatic facility, plus or minus 7 acres, and consider a splash pad as an alternative. Redevelop the vehicular drive as a single point of entry with a turnaround. Make repairs to the existing vehicular bridge. Develop the hillside as an outdoor amphitheater and sledding hill. Relocate the flag memorial. Consolidate play equipment. Upgrade playground equipment and provide appropriate fall protection. Develop the duck house area as a nature-based playscape. Upgrade, dredge, and renovate the pond edge, and dam. Renovate the southeast pavilion and maintenance building and upgrade its associated parking. Renovate the basketball courts. Provide additional picnic shelters. Provide an internal dedicated looped path system. Next point, Maple Lake Park, 1.2 acres, $1,292,568. Provide better connectivity to the neighborhood with safety crosswalks. Consolidate play equipment. Upgrade playground equipment and provide appropriate fall protection. Develop an inclusive playground here. Replace existing shelter with small shelter. Provide area for shade and bleachers at the tennis court. Provide physical separation between tennis courts and Oakwood Drive. Construct safe off-street parking lots. Upgrade the basketball courts. Construct a pickleball courts. Maple Lake Park will develop as the south anchor of north/south linear park connection to the Richland B&O Trail. Next point, Middle Park, 23 acres, $1,142,211. Continue pedestrian access only policy. Convert the asphalt road to trail system focused on pedestrian connectivity to the north and south as part of the community's linear OS system with safe respite zones. Middle Park will develop as a central anchor of north and south linear park connection to the railroad B&O Trail. Provide safe east-west neighborhood connections where feasible. Add flashing pedestrian crossing signals at West 4th Street and Park Avenue. Renovate the picnic shelter and upgrade the picnic area. Repair the bridge connection to the proposed picnic area. Redevelop the sledding hill that previously existed. Consider a nature-based playscape or nature play trail in this park. Next point, North Lake Park, 20 acres, $2,622,260. Remove all vehicular circulation from around the pond and transition to pedestrian access only. Close Ray and Helen Avenues to through traffic. Provide a new parking lot at the Roland Avenue Park entrance. Provide pedestrian access to the island. Naturalize the pond edge. Replace picnic shelters around the pond. Remove eastern bridge condition by reconfiguring the pond edge. North Lake Park will develop as the north anchor of the north/south linear park connection to the Richland B&O Trail. Develop a Ninja Warrior course behind the pavilion. Next bullet point, Optimistic Park, 1.5 acres, $181,760. Mowing reduction along the wooded area. Consolidate play equipment, upgrade playground equipment, and provide appropriate fall protection. Provide an ADA access route from Carroll Lane. Provide opportunities for butterfly or pollinator gardens. Continue to allow access to existing nature trails cut in by local neighborhood residences. Next bullet point, Prospect Park, 2.5 acres, $1,075,996. Develop a skate park within this park. Make improvements to the existing parking lot. Provide additional parking if necessary. Demo the existing pavilion buildings and shelter. Replace all deteriorated sidewalks and add additional pedestrian connections. Provide a picnic shelter with restrooms adjacent to the playground. Consolidate play equipment, upgrade playground equipment, and provide appropriate fall protection. Make appropriate neighborhood pedestrian connections and improve crosswalks at all of the intersections. Provide general open space for the neighborhood activities and general play. Next bullet point, Redwood Park, 1.4 acres, $346,240. Provide picnic shelter adjacent to the playground. Consolidate play equipment, upgrade playground equipment, and provide appropriate fall protection. Make appropriate neighborhood pedestrian connections. Provide general open space for neighborhood activities and general play. Provide seating and swings for adults, providing security lighting. Next point, South Park, 15 acres, $418,318. Provide signalized pedestrian crossings at Park Avenue and Maple Street to provide good, safe neighborhood connectivity. Convert the lower asphalt road to trail system focused on pedestrian connectivity to the north and south as part of the community's linear O/S system with safe respite zones. South Park will develop as a central anchor of north/south linear park connection to the Richland B&O Trail, provide safe east-west neighborhood connections where feasible, maintain blockhouse, log cabin, blacksmith shop, and other significant historic structures. Relocate maintenance facility to a more efficient location. Next bullet point, Sterkel Park, 83.5 acres, $2,247,700. Implement the existing Sterkel Park Master Plan. Provide a park-wide neighborhood connectivity plan. Make connections to other community services. Provide opportunity for pollinator gardens to support local butterfly habitat. Encourage interpretive and educational opportunities. Provide more shelters with some to include restrooms. Consolidate play equipment. Upgrade playground equipment, and provide appropriate fall protection. These all sound like some really wonderful upgrades for the Mansfield area. Our next article is titled Relief Fund Giving Out $5,000 Grants to Artists Hurt by Pandemic by Mark Cottle, Mansfield News-Journal. Robin Shoup doesn't want to be a starving artist. The local painter is one of many independent artists struggling right now because of the coronavirus pandemic. I primarily do a lot of commission work, Shoup said. She also teaches several classes at the Mansfield Art Center, which is closed. We had just sat down and hammered out a full schedule all the way into fall, Shoup said. I was going to be really busy, which is good. She was especially excited about a drum circle class. Shoup and other artists could be in line to get help through the Artist Relief Fund. It will distribute $5,000 grants to artists facing dire financial emergencies because of COVID-19. Susan Gentile, marketing director for Mansfield Art Center, said 7 national grant-writing organizations are behind the initiative. It is for all the art disciplines, Gentile said. It's very nice to know that a lot of these organizations are looking out for these independent artists. To be eligible for a relief grant, applicants must be practicing artists able to demonstrate a sustained commitment to their work, careers, and a public audience. Next point, experiencing dire financial emergencies because of the pandemic. Next point, able to receive taxable income in the United States for the last 2 years. Next point, not a full-time employee, board member, director, officer, or immediate family member of any of the coalition partners. Final point, not previously awarded a relief grant from this fund. If you meet these criteria and to apply, go to artistrelief.org. A Shelby native, Shoup graduated from Clear Fork in 1985. She said she began drawing when she was just 2. I was drawing as I was learning to walk, Shoup said. She handles a variety of painting, including murals. People will see her work downtown at Fork and Fingers. We're not able to do any right now, Shoup said of murals. Businesses are closed down or they just don't have the funds. Shoup also illustrated books and makes logos for bands. Everything's halted, she said of the pandemic. Shoup is supposed to do a mural inside a friend's house next week, but she's nervous about it because of Governor Mike DeWine's request for people to stay home to prevent the spread of the virus. I've been putting it off, hoping this would not last too long, she said. I have to make money. When things come up, I have to take it. Shoup has applied for the Artist Relief Fund grant and is waiting to hear. The program started April 8 and runs through September 1. Artists can reapply if they don't get selected initially, Gentile said. I believe it's very much in need for artists, she said. They often get left in the cold when something like this happens. It's a hard time, and a lot of them don't have benefits. They're just out there depending on their art to make a living. Next article. Mansfield Postal Carrier says coronavirus is just like a speed bump by Lou Whitmire, Mansfield News-Journal. Mansfield Postal Carrier Kevin DeWitt's customers have been extra nice to him since the coronavirus pandemic took over the world in recent months. One lady, a customer, even made me some hand sanitizer, said DeWitt, 55, of Perrysville, who has been a mail carrier for 38 years. Kids put a wooden cross with a flower in their mailbox for me for Easter, he said. That was sweet. Across the country, media outlets have reported acts of kindness to postal carriers, from sidewalk chalk messages to thank you cards and letters. Mansfield Postal Carrier Shannon Conley of Ashland delivers mail on the city's north end. She said her customers are the best year-round. Customers are thankful. Every day I'm told thank you for my good service and stay safe, she said. She said someone put a goodie bag containing a homemade face mask and gloves under her windshield wiper. I really appreciated it, but I don't know who left it to say thank you, Conley said. DeWitt points out that he's seeing a lot more kids these days on his route since they're learning at home while schools are closed to allow for social distancing among COVID-19. We're looking out for each other, said DeWitt of his customers. We are all going to survive this together. DeWitt says he has gloves and a mask in his pocket and can easily distance himself from people because his route is on the outskirts of the city. Keeping social distance? At the main post office, where he gathers his mail, everyone keeps the recommended 6-foot social distance. Everything has changed for safety reasons, he said. He's washing his hands a lot more often, as recommended by health officials. My hands are raw from washing my hands, he said. DeWitt said he's looking forward to spring like everyone else. Once they open up the economy, it's going to be full service, he said, of the COVID-19 virus that has altered or closed so many businesses at this time. DeWitt said he has been on the same route for about 15 years, including traveling on South and North Trimble Roads and West Longview Avenue. He said 90% of his route is spent driving his postal vehicle, but he does some walking too. Like a speed bump. I've always did what I've had to do in my service, and this coronavirus is just like a speed bump, he said. DeWitt has been a mail carrier since he was 18. His dad was a mail carrier, and with his wife raised 5 children, some who still work in the postal system. Conley, a postal carrier since 2014, said her customers are always super sweet and leave her water bottles in the summer. They're amazing. They stay away from the box where I'm used to handing them their mail, she said. She said she's washing her hands and waiting for COVID-19 to be a distant memory. Mansfield Postmaster Rob Nixon said the USPS wants to help customers and its employees stay safe and asked people to maintain a safe distance of 6 feet or more between other individuals at all times. It is important to note the CDC, the World Health Organization, and the U.S. Surgeon General have all said there's a very low risk that this virus is being spread through mail, Nixon said. Bind the nation together. Our mission to bind the nation together is achieved through the tireless efforts and sacrifices of our dedicated employees, Nixon said. The outpouring of support you have shown has had a great impact on everyone at the Postal Service. Knowing how much you care means everything to us. On behalf of all employees at the Mansfield Post Office, thank you, he added. Nadia Dolly, Strategic Communications Specialist, Northern Ohio District and Ohio Valley District at the U.S. Postal Service, said, "We are proud of the work our employees play in processing, transporting, and delivering mail and packages for the American public, which is a vital public service that is a part of this nation's critical infrastructure. The Postal Service delivers much-needed medication and Social Security checks, and we are all leading delivery service for online purchases," she said. Well, my friends, this concludes the reading of the Mansfield News Journal for Tuesday, April 21st. This is Pam saying thank you for spending this time with me. Please stay in, and if you can, stay safe, be blessed, and make it a great day.